If you've been online all this week, you already know that this man, the Glambot guy, has been getting dragged left and right, and he's finally responded to the backlash.
I want to talk about some emails that I sent years ago that resurfaced recently. The tone in these emails was dismissive and curt, and that is not okay. In 2019, I didn't have a team around me. It was just myself. I edited every single video. I answered every single email, and I was overwhelmed. But that is not an excuse. Everything lands on me. I think the hardest part about all of this is being labeled racist. I'm half Chinese, and growing up, issues of identity, race, and belonging deeply affected me, and I would never intend to inflict that onto anybody else. But I do understand that reading these emails, people could be upset and assume bias, especially given the frequency at which people of color experience being dismissed. And so I take responsibility for my words, regardless of what my intent was. I also want to acknowledge people's concerns that they were mistreated or felt dismissed or treated less than on the red carpet. Live events move really fast, and I would never want someone to come see me and leave feeling that way. But I do understand that it could happen, and it did happen, and for that, I am sorry. I'd like to think that I have grown a lot in the past 7 years, and I always want to treat everybody with the respect that they deserve, but clearly, more could be done, and I can do better. And so that's a thing that I want to focus on, improving and just working towards being better. These are just some thoughts that have been weighing on me, that I wanted to share. And so, thanks for watching.
But before we even get into what he said, we need to rewind, because this whole situation actually started with Jennifer Lopez. It all started with a viral clip of Jennifer Lopez at the Golden Globes. You guys know how the Glambot works, okay? The celebrity walks up, they get a little direction, they pose, it's cute, it's dramatic, they get their moment, and boom, it's done. But in this particular clip, J.Lo walks up, Cole is trying to give her instruction, and she's just like not really engaging, okay? She doesn't stop, she doesn't really acknowledge him, and she just does her thing and keeps it pushing. And immediately the internet was like, oh wow, that was rude. Like, you can't sing and now you're rude. Girl, please. That was what the internet was talking about, okay? So people were dragging her, saying that she ignored him, saying she was disrespectful, saying that she had an attitude, okay? But then plot twist, okay? Cole, the Glambot guy, actually comes out and defends her. He says that the red carpet was closing, they were rushed, timing was tight, and that it didn't feel rude at all in that moment.
I do get asked all the time, who was the worst Glambot? Who was the meanest? Who was the rudest? And honestly, everybody on the internet needs to just calm down. Now, I'm not here to tell anybody how they should feel, but there was only one other person outside of J.Lo that was in that conversation, and that person was me. These are some things that I've actually wanted to say for a while, but there's never really been a chance to sort of like talk about the world at which the Glambots exist. But now, I guess, is a great time to talk about what it's like on the carpet. The first thing to know about doing Glambots is that Glambots are completely elective. Nobody's forcing you to do these things. If you want to do it, you can. If you're in a bad attitude, you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. So anybody that stops, I already like you because you're taking the time to do my thing. And this is generous of you, because you don't have to do it. 2, red carpets are so insane. All of the celebs are like getting ushered to like, hey, do this thing, do this thing, do this thing. As you're walking in between stuff, people are screaming at you. It's just a really crazy environment. So when people land on the Glambot, like sometimes they don't know what they're walking up to. You know what I mean? And I'm not just talking about like J.Lo here. I'm talking about a ton of celebrities in the past that sort of like land and they're like kind of like a little like, what's going on? It's just because it's just so crazy. The third thing. These celebrities, they're at work. They're there to do a thing, to promote their show, to be a guest, to be a presenter. They're working. So some people, chatty at work. Some people, not so chatty at work. And it's not really my place to be like, oh, you should be a certain way. I'm just sort of like reacting in those moments and giving people the best chance to do their best Glambot that they can. So with that world set, I do get asked all the time, who was the worst Glambot? And honestly, I don't have an answer. I mean, literally, I've never felt that people were like rude to me in that moment. The world is just so crazy that like when people are distracted or like less chatty or like thinking about other stuff, I don't take it personally. And even with J.Lo, like I didn't take it personally. I didn't feel rude in that moment. I think there's a couple things that sort of like added to the fuel of this idea. One, like she's just down to business. The carpet was closed. She's ready to go inside. She knew what she was going to do. You know, she got into the position, and I think it was just like unfortunate that the position was she was facing away from me. So I am talking to her. She is looking away, but she's getting ready for the move. And in the moment, I'm not like, hey, like turn around and look. Like I knew what she was doing. She was getting ready. I knew she was getting ready. I knew it was late. We were just like getting through it. That moment didn't feel rude. Another one people talk about is Cara Delevingne a couple years ago at the Oscars, and like people were like commenting like, oh, she's so rude. But like, I thought she was super sweet. I think the very start of the clip, she kind of like rolled her eyes and like walked up. I honestly didn't even see her roll the eyes in the edit. If I did, I would have cut it out. And again, I never felt that was rude. And anybody's ever commented below, like, hey, this person's rude, I've never thought it. People obviously have been going ham, making their own posts, doing their own thing. And I'm not here to tell you what to do or what not to do, but I am here to just tell you my experience. Not only just J.Lo, anybody, you know what I mean? I've never felt anybody was like rude to me. I think people are at work, they're rushed, the world is crazy, and I never take it personal. I do want to thank all you guys for watching the content, for commenting, for having my back on things. I love all you guys. It's been so cool to see these Glambots grow over the years. And I'm just like so honored to bring you this cool content. Yeah, thanks for watching. Love you guys. I'll see you on the next carpet.
So he basically says everyone read it wrong. Okay, cool. At first, people were like, cool, fair, like respect to that. Okay, it's your job. You don't feel like she was rude, then fine. So after that clip went viral, that J.Lo clip went viral, people on Twitter decided to become detectives. And that is when Yinka Anima Sean entered the chat. So back in 2019, she allegedly tried to book the Glambot for her wedding. And apparently, Cole denied her. So Yinka posted some screenshots of the emails between herself and Cole. And honestly, her first email was polite, straightforward, just asking about how to book the Glambot for her wedding. And this is what Cole had to say. I'm just going to read what he said. He said, "Thanks for reaching out. Just so you're aware, the Glambot is a camera system and personnel used by a network television station for one of the year's biggest red carpets. It is not cheap. If you feel like something like this might be within your budget, then I am happy to discuss further." Now pause. Some people say that this was just transparency. Other people are like, that was a little bit shady. So Yinka responds by saying, yes, it's something in my budget range. And allegedly, Cole hits her with this. He says, "I don't see how you could be, since I didn't say how much it was, and it could be between $10,000 and $1 million. Now, throughout this whole time, Yinka keeps her cool. Again, she's a rich woman. She is as cool as a cucumber. And she explains that, she assumed that this was expensive because it's at the Oscars. So yeah, she assumes that this was going to be very expensive. And then she asks, what are the steps to book? Who operates it? And is it you? Like she was asking the Glambot guys, like, is it you? Or do you have a team and things like that? And then Cole, the Glambot guy, gave her like a full breakdown of it's a 15-person crew, network setups, rehearsals, and things like that. So all reasonable at this point. But then she continues and asks, so where would I begin? Through you or through a website? And finally, the price drops. Cole says this thing is going to cost you $300,000 with a 10% deposit up front. So Yinka says, yeah, I'm going to follow up on Monday. And this is what triggers Cole, the Glambot guy. And he says to her, if you wanted to know how much it costs, you just need to ask. You don't need to pretend like you're going to book it. Shocked by that reply, she says, I did want to book it, and that's why I asked. So once those screenshots went viral, everyone started chiming in. One person even said that they had the same exact experience as Yinka. And then another person said that, like the Glambot guy was so rude to them. And they even shared, I think, a screenshot. And in that screenshot, Cole was saying, hey, dude, yeah, I mean, you can book the Glambot, but there's a reason that the Glambot is only available at the Oscars, the Grammys, and the Golden Globes. Here's the thing. A lot of people are not mad about the $300,000 price tag. They're mad about the tone, the assumption, the elitism, the classism. People are mad about that. Now, there are some people who are defending J.Lo. Other people are defending Cole. So let's hear what they have to say about this whole situation.
And this is why our parents told us to mind the business that pays us, because this is just crazy, because this all started because he defended J.Lo. Like, he saw everybody hating on her and he like, damn, she kind of like, I didn't think it was rude in the moment. I thought it was kind of cool. Boom. Now they got his ass. They talking about, oh, he wearing a wig. Oh, they pulled out email chains from 2019. Oh, they saying he used ChatGPT in his TikTok captions. I'm like, damn. This whole time I'm thinking he kind of looked like Ray Ray from Mindless Behavior, but that's where my mind is. I'm seeing on all social medias people just making think pieces. People love to think. People love to write a think piece. Everybody like, damn, like he's just so rude. Why would you assume she don't got no money? Why would you? And yeah, I did read that email chain, and I'm not messy, but it did kind of give like, oh, you can't afford my shit, bitch. This not no regular. It kind of gave that a little bit. It kind of gave that a little bit, but I'm thinking like, damn, this didn't have to happen. This didn't have to happen. I'm just sitting here like, fuck, all over him being nice. He didn't even have to be like he helping J.Lo out, and here he go from they pulling emails from 7 years ago. 7 years ago, that's crazy.
Hot take. I'm defending J.Lo. Oh, just a bit. Have y'all heard about this? The Glambot receipts. He says hi. She says hi. And as she's walking up, he says, lovely to see you again. She says, nice to see you too. These are J.Lo's words. Is she looking at him? No. Your mother taught you better than that. Look at people when you talk to them. But she is using words. And when he says bye, she gives a little wave. Does she say bye? I don't hear it, but she does give a little, haha, see you later. J.Lo didn't exactly ignore him, but she could have had better manners. When you're talking to somebody, you could look at them. But how are you at work? Are you nice to your coworkers? I know, they're a celebrity, their life isn't tough. But you know who was wrong? J.Lo's makeup artist. Because why did he do this to her forehead? J.Lo is a beautiful woman. He said, bronzer everywhere. He. So I think she kind of was aware her makeup wasn't flawless. Because have you ever done something and you don't look cute and you're like, I can't fix it? I don't know. I'm pretty sure she knows when her makeup ain't done right. But he said, brown skin girl. Honestly, J.Lo's PR team is like, you know what? Once again, everybody's talking about you. It works. Is J.Lo mean? I don't know. Is J.Lo a bubbly, friendly person? Probably not.
After this whole thing went viral, Yinka was interviewed by People magazine, and this is exactly what she had to say. She said, as a black woman, I am no stranger to people making assumptions about who I am or what I am capable of. But I think his responses to me were exceptionally unprofessional and unkind. I was preparing for one of the best days of my life, and to this day, his response shocks me. This isn't how you speak to a potential client or people in general. Hopefully, my sharing this can be a learning experience for him and enable him to be better, or at least be a bit more kind. Anyway, I don't think he was discriminating Yinka based on the color of her skin. I just think he was being rude and disrespectful during that time in his life. I think if any regular Joe would have come to him at that particular time, he would have responded exactly the same way he responded to Yinka. So I don't think he's being discriminatory based on color. I just don't think that. Now, because of this whole story breaking out, a lot of us have come to realize that Cole is not the original Glambot guy. As a matter of fact, the original Glambot guy is called Joseph Kahn. Yes, he's the one who designed everything about the Glambot. He designed the tech of the Glambot, the lighting of the Glambot, and he designed it in such a way that the Glambot could be able to operate in live events during events like Oscars, the Golden Globes, and things like that. Okay, so he recently tweeted and he said, do you want to operate a Glambot? Here's how you can do it. Put your iPhone on a selfie stick, record it in slow motion, swing it at someone really fast, stabilize it with editing software, slow it with a good app, and congratulations, you just made $300,000 at a wedding. I just love how he's shady. I love it. I love it so much. So now, let me know what you think. Do you think this guy deserves to be cancelled because of this whole thing? Or do you think he deserves more grace?